that's the 4th of July, these are all good, it's a little here, and because she's
Okay,
younger.
okay, no, lots of people know, we don't need it for July. Some people have old people,
And
since
so, if
everybody
anything,
is,
I want to do it
everybody,
to encourage her to get back
for
into
July,
it.
everybody's closed.
Yeah, so.
Okay,
And
okay.
what is it, how do you feel about the working out? Are you nervous about it?
Well, I haven't been doing anything but walking my dog, so, you know, maybe if anything, I'm just nervous about, you know, getting exhausted.
Let me take you back to the girl that you spoke to earlier. Okay, I don't really know what she knows, but if she did know what she was talking about, that's called, we like to call that bodybuilding, body shaping. And what that really involves is the process of your body called adaptation. Your body needs to adapt to whatever loads or force you put on it. Okay, so in that process, we try to take our bodies further than they can go so that the body will rebuild stronger, tighter, bigger, whatever we're trying to shape. It has nothing to do with what's called weightlifting for health. Weightlifting for health is actually kind of like the way God designed your bodies to work. It's not hard. It's just that when, 1,000 years ago, we were supposed to get up, we were supposed to go out and bale some hay, we were supposed to dig ditches and push things. We were supposed to use our body in a resistance type form. God didn't tell us to push the hay until we passed out and threw up and then do another set.
Yeah.
That's how
Right.
for bodybuilders. But for just the average person to be healthy, we were supposed to use our muscles in a resistance type of activity. So it's really not a scary thought when we're training people who are 80 or 90 years old and we're teaching them to build up their bones for osteoporosis or to just use their muscles because they've been deteriorating and lack of use. It's kind of like when you get in a cast, it's called atrophy. Like when you get in a cast and broken arm, you take it out, it's all small. We don't use it. That's what happens to people's bodies. That's why their posture falls. You don't have to push real hard. It's not about pushing. It's just using the body the way it was meant to be. So you're not going to have us in your face yelling at you saying, come on, give me the... It should be fun.
Yeah.
And it should be something you enjoy. And that's what we try to target. Pam and I, my wife and I, we've always believed that the only way to get you back here is to have fun. Sense of humor, laughing, enjoying what you do. If this stuff is all serious, you ain't coming back. So if we can find some kind of connection with you, laugh a little, joke with you, find you, get you out of your shell and laugh, you'll find this becomes a social league.
Kids. And worked as a waiter, hard as a waiter here locally for 15, 20 years while I did that. And I had told myself when I'm done with the homeschooling process or graduated and grown, I'm going to go back into my original career, which was a court reporter in my 20s. But I needed to start school again and recertify. So that's what I've been doing for ever since I finished my treatments. I started November, I finished my last radiation in November and started school that November. So I've been in school about 2.5 years now. And anyway, I spend a good 10, 12 hours on my machine at home. And you can imagine I get awfully tense and my hands hurt and things like that. So I think it would be very important to me to build up the strength and, like you said, the resistance and that sort of thing in those areas. Yeah.
And just, you're very knowledgeable in this area. All you got to think about is, you've read the Bible before?
Yeah.
Think about the way we used to live and combine that. I mean, obviously, like he was saying, he wants you up on the cardio and doing the thing. Well, that resembles walking for long distances between towns. That's what our bodies were made for, walking. But then when we got there, we had to do some type of activity. Sometimes it's moving things, sometimes it's lifting things, sometimes it's doing laundry and the thing. So everything resembles something we're trying to copy here in the gym. It was just the way our bodies were designed. Our bodies were designed to be able to walk long distances, to pick up for maximum loads for short distances and time efforts. We've got to put it all together. And on a personal note, I noticed you spoke about your surviving. I've been doing this for 35 years. For 35 years, I started training people, and I've trained most of the professional athletes. And about 3.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with leukemia. When I got diagnosed with leukemia, I started tracking at Scripps Hospital with a doctor, Saban. And my blood, you know anything about white blood cells? Your white blood cells average around 9 to 10,000. Mine were actually 270,000.
Wow.
That's how high my white lymphocytes were. And for over 3 years, they couldn't figure out why I was still healthy. I never lost any weight. I didn't have any side effects.
You have hair.
Everything was fine. Nothing happened. I was stronger.
Yeah.
And, you know, my argument to the doctors in the medical field was always the same thing. I just don't want to believe it. I don't want to listen to you. 2 is I'm going to keep eating the way I've always eaten, which is organic, clean. And 3 is I'm always going to train. Always going to lift weights, and I'm always going to work out. After 3.5 years, I had it pretty much where the leukemia was high, but I was still very healthy. I wouldn't let it beat me. We ended up in a hospital due to some other complications. Something happened to my heart. They said it was an infection that caused it. What was it called?
He had enlarged cardiomyopathy and congestive heart failure, coupled with kidney and liver.
And my heart was diagnosed as that of a 90-year-old person. It basically had a 25 ejection fraction. So it was pretty bad, and, you know, I said my prayers and asked God to see what he could do, and, you know, about a week later, I got out of the hospital, and they told me if I ever lifted weights, and if I ever did anything again, I'd probably die. And I made that choice. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna die. So I went ahead back to working out. The following week, which was exactly 14 days, I went back to the hospital. They did some tests on me, and they weren't liking what was going on, so they went ahead and did another ultrasound, and my ejection fraction was fully recovered. How about exercise? You know, cardio.
I've never had any training. I don't know. Like I said, I just come and goof around on a treadmill.
We actually prefer
And
clients.
bicycle things. And, yeah, you can.
We don't like clients who come in and think that they've
They
trained
know
people.
everything.
Ben, we'll get up on that one. You can come over here. The nicest thing about them nowadays is there's so much damn fun. I mean, you can actually watch what you're doing. I mean, watch. It'll actually be like a little track, and that's going to be, you can actually go through mountain terrains. It'll actually
You better
be,
start walking.
It should be
and
pretty
then,
slow.
let's see, we'll have we can't go any slower.
A little bit.
I'm going slow, I'm not. Wow.
But it'll track you around here.
See, that's you going.
Yeah.
And I think we can also,
You can go to programs. And then you can do,
can we go to a mountain scene?
I think so.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Is it going to have me start walking again?
Yeah.
There you go.
3, 2, 1.
Now you're walking.
There you go.
Go.
See, this is where you're going.
I'll bring you down again on speed again. And meanwhile, while that's going on, we can also we can put on some TV.
Right on.
You bring some earphones, we plug them in right here. You watch whatever you want.
Cool.
This tells you pretty much where you're at in your walk.
This looks like fun. Not hard work.
Maybe you have to be one of the 3 women.
Some of these things
Get in
actually
drag.
have virtual reality too, where you actually are like, you're actually looking at where you're going.
Like those motorcycle
Yeah,
things
yeah,
in
it's kind of fun.
arcades.
But some people complain. They say they get a little dizzy.
I think I
They're
would.
like, oh, I'm getting a little dizzy.
When you evoke. You know, this is.